Welcome back to another fantastic episode of Raw and Real Finance. Today's episode is a really interesting one. We have a special guest today who has acquired more than 15,000 followers on Twitter. He is famously known as a cards wizard. So, welcoming Harshit Bora to our podcast. We will be talking about RuPay debit cards, other credit cards, and many more such things. So, welcome Harshit to our
Thank you.
podcast.
Thanks a lot
Welcome,
for
Arshit.
having me today.
Welcome, Arshit.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for having me. And thanks a lot for the warm introduction.
So let's begin, Harshit. The famous question what all the viewers have. How to get RuPay Select debit cards and the perks associated with it and the joining benefits.
Awesome. So there is an interesting story behind this actually. So I learned about RuPay debit cards sometime last year that these guys are providing all those kind of benefits like lounge access as well as Amazon Prime for free. And you are also getting, let's say, some vouchers where you can go to a spa and enjoy that. So my curiosity peaked up there, and actually, in my 2 kilometer radius, how many ever PSU banks were there, I just went there. Means there were around 6 or 7 PSU banks around me, and I went to each of them like SBI, Bank of Baroda, Canara Bank, Bank of Maharashtra, every place. Half of them, of course, didn't know what is RuPay Select debit card first of all, so I had to actually educate them vice versa. So, so yeah, it started from there, and then I started to gain knowledge about basically how do you get one and what are the benefits around that. Firstly, to be specific, we are talking about RuPay Select debit card, right? It's not a credit card, it's a debit card.
Yes.
And it comes with, of course, your normal savings account, savings account you'll use, you will get a RuPay Select debit card upon that. So now the variants of RuPay savings account vary from bank to bank. For example, Canara Bank will provide you a RuPay Select debit card even on a basic account like a 2000 balance or a 5000 balance account. You will just have to pay a 1180 rupees annual fees. But there are also lifetime free debit cards, which comes like, let's say, some bank accounts like Bank of Maharashtra. Now, Bank of Maharashtra, if you'll keep 25,000 rupees in there, you'll get a lifetime free RuPay Select debit card, and that's a AQB. That's a average quarterly balance of 25,000 rupees. Similarly, to point to be noted is that only PSU banks and some small finance banks provide these RuPay Select debit cards, and from which you can get those kind of benefits, right? So yeah, that's where we start. Basically, how do we get? And of course, we can carry forward with the discussion about the what are the benefits of each debit card.
Yeah. Just viewers, for your information, you can open your saving bank account in any PSUs. If you open their account, they have certain terms and conditions. As Harshit highlighted, Canara Bank can be maintained with just annual fees of 1180 rupees, whereas Bank of Maharashtra is free but with minimum balance requirement of 25,000. So each bank has their different rules and regulation. But the key here is when you opt for such account, you have to ensure you take RuPay Select debit card because the real benefits are there, and we will understand from Harshad what are those benefits, how much benefit you can extract from those perks, and how effectively you can
Right.
use.
So first step is clear. Let's say whatever nearest branch you have, or some even PSU banks have it account, or you can open the account online as well. For example, Canara, you can do the end-to-end process online. Once you did that, you select the RuPay Select debit card. It is arrived, means it is delivered to your home. Now, what are the benefits of that card? So first and
Yeah.
foremost, the most useful benefit, which I think is actually the OTT benefit. Anyways, you guys are using Amazon in some way or the another, right? Might as well get the Prime membership. So what the RuPay Select debit card provides you with is an option to choose from three OTT membership. It's either, not all, it's either, right? The best one, of course, is the Amazon Prime, which is the full service Prime membership, which is 14.99, right? Which comes for the price of 14.99, right? So at least I value that at least at 1,000 rupees, if not more, because we can get via some credit cards for 1,000 bucks, not if not less, right? So around 1,000 rupees benefit there. If you don't want Amazon Prime, you already have that. Let's say, for example, you can either choose from Hotstar or Sony Live. So these are again some at least 500, 700 rupees membership a year. At least means Hotstar, even I guess even higher, around 1,000, but at least 500, 700 rupees benefit over there,
Yeah.
right? So if you choose Amazon Prime membership right off the bat, your basically fees is covered there. For example, you go with the Canara debit card, you are paying 1180 rupees fees, but instead you are getting a 1499 rupees membership right
Yeah.
off the bat. So that's the first and foremost useful piece there. Secondly, you get a wellness voucher. Now, there is also 5 or 6 options. There's a list of options which they provide. Now, you
Yeah.
can either choose for, let's say, 60 minutes of Swedish massage, 60 minutes, let's say, dry massage from Aroma Thai, or what my personal favorite, you can go for a 1500 rupees a Lakme voucher. You
Yeah.
take that Lakme voucher, you give it to your spouse or use it or yourself. So via this, I actually came to know Lakme are a unisex salons, not only for women. So yeah, you can
Even
use
I
for
didn't
your
know that.
yeah,
I
right.
only got to know now.
Yeah, after getting these debit cards, I got to know, yeah, Lakme can be used for my haircut as well. And these guys are propping up around the cities and around tier 2 cities as well, so it's very useful. Like if you are valuing at least 1000 if not 1500, taking the premiumness of the salons, so at least 1000 rupees value if not more. And of course, if you don't like Lakme, then of course you can go for some spa and body massage, right?
Yeah.
So these are two
Yep.
very good benefits. Now, third, it also takes care of your gym, right? So it's not like any other gym where you will get some normal gym membership. It's a Cult Fit Elite 1 month membership, right? So you can
Okay.
either opt for a 1 month Cult Fit Elite membership. The yearly cost is around 24,000 if I'm not wrong for Cult Fit. And for monthly, if you won't means assign a premium, anything still count 1000 to 1500 rupees if not more, right?
Yeah.
So if you are opting for that 1 month membership, you can go for Gold's Gym, you can go for these cult sessions. So that's an elite membership which comes with it. And
Okay. So
yeah,
it's basically going to a offline gym rather than it's
right,
online. Correct. The way cult
Not the
is
virtual session.
right.
structured.
So, but you also have an option for the virtual one as well. Basically, you can either select from a 1 month on offline gym or a 3 months home
Okay.
program. That also
So they are giving both the
they are
options
giving both the
basically.
options. You can select either one of them.
Depending on your location, you can
Interesting.
decide whether you really
Ex-
want to go
Exactly.
to a local gym or not. Yeah.
Exactly. Yes, that's the good benefit, which is the third really great benefit out of the card. So if we just calculate the value, even at the
Yeah.
conservative level, we have reached 3000 already. Means if you'll see, right?
Yeah.
Now coming back to the next one, you get a small 100 rupees voucher for either Ola or Uber. This is actual cash, not a
Mm.
discount voucher. This is cash voucher, a
Okay.
100 rupees voucher. Either Ola or Uber.
So like basically you can add that 100
Yes.
rupees in Uber as a gift card and but in Ola you don't have option to
Yeah,
add
right.
as a balance. So it
It's
would be
it's a
like a
It will give a
discount and the
100 rupees
final price
discount
would be.
directly.
discount.
Correct.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that is again a good benefit if you are living somewhere where Uber and Ola is. Of course, it's again
Yeah.
throughout India almost now, if not means in the
Definitely. Yeah.
villages. But yeah, you can get that benefit. Now, after this, it also take care of your health basically. So you will get either a complimentary health checkup from Thyrocare or SRL. You can choose either of them. So this is
Okay.
a basic package, but it includes everything like your lipid profile, your means blood sugar, your thyroid, everything means all the basic test is covered in it. And if
Basic
not
test.
more,
Yeah.
it's at least worth 500 rupees, if not more. If you go
Interesting.
to any Healthians or any kind of app, you will at least value it around 400, 500 bucks, which is the basic test which comes with it. So again, this is also
Yeah.
coming for free. Now we have covered these five benefits. Now sixth one is actually golf lessons, right? So you either get a single golf lesson or a golf means you can play golf. So either you can learn golf or play golf once via this card. These are the benefits which I have listed down. So if even if you calculate these benefits, right, you will actually see you are already recouping around 4,000 rupees of basically a value
Yeah.
out of these rupees. But then this is where it gets interesting, right? So the OTT benefit, right? The OTT benefit is once a year, but all the other benefits are once a quarter, not once a year,
That's interesting.
right? So this is where it gets a really interesting, and I'll like to show you why I have gotten these many debit cards.
Wow.
Just just because you can easily recoup around 10,000 bucks, if not more, via these a year, if not more.
And that too only on the back of one account.
Just
The
one account.
moment you
Yeah,
multiply number of
exactly.
accounts, if you're a family of four, that's 40,000
So,
Exactly.
so Rushal,
from one
that
bank.
is the question that I had in mind. So, Harshit, tell us. So, you said that you went to all the banks which were there in 2 kilometer radius.
Yeah,
So, how many banks did you open this account, and
yeah.
how many cards did you get for you and your family, and
Right.
how do you maximize all these benefits?
Sure, sure. So actually, I went to each and every branch. So wherever I found basically the offering interesting, and let's say some kind of the other waiver. For example, in Bank of Baroda, I had this 22,000 rupees AQB account, and you have to only pay 500 instead of 1,000. So I took that as well. I took that Bank of Maharashtra one. I took Canara one. I also took Karnataka Bank and Tamil Nadu Bank, Tamil Nadu Mercantile Bank. So these are the five. And one also I took for my wife, that is from the Karnataka Bank itself. Again, Karnataka Bank also provided at no AQB, nothing, and just pay 1180 rupees. So we have around six cards in the family, six debit cards. And good thing is that we use Lakme vouchers. We use these Cult Fit membership. We have a gym nearby our home. We use these Ola vouchers. So these are anyways spends which we would have
Yeah.
done. That's why we anyways took these as a benefit.
So you said that Uber voucher is 100 rupees
Right.
for every quarter, right? And therefore, so if you have 6 cards into 4 quarters, 2400 is only what you get as credit on Ola Uber,
That is correct.
either Ola or Uber.
That
Wow.
is correct.
And Abhishek, one important thing about that in Uber, it's getting cumulated. So you can use basis the ride cost, not like every ride you will get a discount. So if I accumulate 2400 rupees annually, if there are 400 rupees ride, I can use 6 rides.
Yeah.
So that's no money going from your pocket basically.
That's one, at least one long ride free for you. Means what
Yeah.
more you will require. So
The people
these
who are staying in Bangalore and traveling to airport, they can effectively use this.
exactly, yeah. Even for Mumbai, means at least from Kandivali it takes 350, 400 rupees one way at least. So yeah.
Yeah.
And these similarly Lakme vouchers as well, right? So you
Similarly,
will get one every
all of
quarter.
these are stackable. All of these can be used, and they'll in the mail they'll say that yeah the validity is 30 days only, but Lakme vouchers are valid for 365 days, not even
Oh.
30 days. So that's
So
again
that's a really good offer, right? So if
right.
you stack, let's say and you can use multiple vouchers in one transaction.
Yes, yes. So basically, last time only, this is actually a real life example, not like a bookish knowledge. Basically, we went to Lakme, we did some services, both of us 7,500 rupees approx, and we encashed 5 vouchers over there directly, not
Wow.
an issue.
So that was all free.
Yeah.
I think it's a called smart strategy of investing your money and getting the benefit.
And one now, these are all the hard benefits which you are seeing. There is a superb soft benefit from this debit card which comes, which is lounge access, right? You don't have to spend
Yeah.
anything now. Where in an age where each and every bank is actually means applying, let's say a spend criteria, right? Let's say spend 20,000, 30,000 to only get a lounge
Yeah.
access. These cards are actually giving you lounge access absolutely for free, right? So the basic lounge access program which RuPay runs is actually you get two international lounge accesses a year, that is two anywhere in the world, and one quarterly. So that's four a year basically, right? So this is the lounge access benefit which they provide. Now, an interesting thing is if you are out of Mumbai, right? There is this international lounge which is Adani East Wing Lounge, right? Which only accepted RuPay debit cards, let's say 3 or 6 months back. So when we went to Singapore, I and my wife had a RuPay Select debit card, and others were even showing their Infinias and even showing all kind of super premium credit cards, but they were not allowed to get in. But yeah, we with our meager RuPay Select debit card were inside.
Interesting. It is superb story, Harshit, about this. So, guys, what Harshit has mentioned, if you do some smart planning of your investing money in saving accounts only, you can rack up annually 15 to 16,000 benefit on
Easily.
behind one account.
And
And
yeah,
if you add 4 members of your family, you can make it 60,000
right.
annually. Basically, these are the money you would have spent on your lifestyle and have enhanced your lifestyle basis this. And you can save that money and invest somewhere else. Or maybe you can invest in those PSUs which are backing up this RuPay cards. Who knows?
So I was just doing some quick maths, Rushank. So let's say for less than 50,000 rupees, if you open 4 or 5 accounts and you maintain that kind of balance, and you are getting 15,000 from each, like Harshit did, you can easily make 100% return every year, right? And you can keep people in your family happy. Somebody might be a gym freak. Somebody just wants to use some vouchers at Lakme, Ola, Uber, Travel, and all those things. And then you have this lounge benefit as well, right? So effectively, everybody in the family will remain happy with such a small investment.
That's
And
true.
the money is also safe.
Yeah.
Just a small add-on here. Basically, of course, there's an opportunity cost to your 25,000, which is lying in my Bank of Maharashtra. But at least I'm getting 3 to 4% interest on that, and that kind of actually is covering my annual fee for Canara Bank credit debit card. So yeah, it gets
Yeah, it gets set off in that way. The
Yeah.
interest earned on those
right.
balances can be set off again the annual fees what you're paying on those
Exactly.
cards. Definitely. Yeah.
Harshit, one interesting point was that many people say that RuPay cards are especially not acceptable internationally or at many locations. So, what has been your experience, especially when you are not using it online? Because online it's still there, but offline, what is the acceptability of RuPay cards these days?
All right. So that's an interesting question. But the thing is that RuPay has actually done a smart thing. They have actually tied up with a few international brands like JCB, as well as which is actually Japan Bank, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
And there is Discover membership, which is actually a good acceptance in the West. So they have actually covered the East as well as the West. So they have partnership with JCB for acceptability as well as Discover. And the good part is actually RuPay comes up with offers for you to actually use these. So currently, even one of the offer is live currently, right? So if you
Yeah.
are going to traveling to a Southeast Asia country like even Japan or Singapore or Malaysia, any of these Southeast Asia country, you can actually swipe your RuPay's debit or credit card, right, and get 25% back cashback, right?
Wow.
So this is not the first time which RuPay is coming out with this. I actually personally went to Singapore November last year, and I used this benefit to purchase all my watches over there and all kind of basically spends over there. So per transaction, you are getting approximately 25% of cashback up to a certain limit. Of course, we can check that, but yeah, that's a great benefit which actually RuPay is giving you to swipe their cards. So it's not that the acceptability is low. JCB has good partnership in Southeast Asia, and I used RuPay Select from HDFC Bank, which was the Tata Neu RuPay Select in Switzerland as well, and there as well I received some 20% cashback. So RuPay is
Wow.
superb for global usage as well. No,
So
no
this is
problem.
on top of all the benefits that you are getting.
That is
So
correct.
anyways, the benefits are there.
Right.
Wow. And this across both debit card. This offer is live both across debit cards and credit cards.
Right. The offer is live on both debit cards and credit cards. Just one thing which we need to know about credit card is we don't get the OTT benefit and the cap benefit on the credit cards. Rest all is the same, but we don't get the OTT as well as the cap benefit on the credit cards. Yeah.
And this is not limited to PSU bank, as you said, because you are using HDFC one. So
So,
can
so
you can
these
get on
Right.
private
So
banks
there are
as
two
well.
things. The PSU banks are for your vouchers and stuff, and the discount which we are talking about, it's for everyone. It's all for all
Okay.
kind of RuPay Select debit cards and credit
So
cards.
basically, RuPay network is offering
RuPay
this.
network is offering this. Yes.
Rupee
Wow,
network, yeah.
wow.
So guys, we have heard from Harshit about RuPay debit cards, how you can use effectively within India, even outside India, the acceptability is good and it comes with host of benefits. You can easily rack up 60,000 rupees saving if you are the four members in a family and you're using PSU bank. So you can switch your balances from normal PSU bank to this kind of accounts where you can make maximum savings for your account. So we will tune to Harshit for more questions. We'll understand from Harshit about his other strategies.
Right.
So Harshit, I just want to touch upon your credit card portfolio as well.
Right.
So what is your credit card portfolio and what kind of cards do you hold and what is your strategy to put your spends on those credit cards?
So, like, I'll just briefly touch upon the journey as well. So, I just started
Yeah.
around 3 years back now, 3 or 4 years back now, if I'm not wrong. And this was with when I started my second stint after MBA with Axis Bank. So, credit cards were something which basically coming up from my upbringing, which was not accepted, right? As in, parents were like, do not take credit cards, these are bad for you. They'll charge you any amount of interest, and you'll have to pay all kind of fees for that, hidden charges and stuff. But yeah, I'll still opening a salary account. I just took whatever Axis Bank provided me as an employee credit card, and I started my journey over there. Now, first thing you see generally using these credit cards is for e-commerce websites website like Flipkart, Amazon, and when you see that, yeah, Amazon Pay kind of credit card is given to you lifetime free, it is giving you 5% cashback on all the spends which you will anyways be doing, right? So first instinct is like, let's take the Amazon Pay credit card for the 5% cashback. So it started from there, and then Magnus happened in 2022. So in 2022, people were actually spending 1 lakh and getting 20,000 points back, and even more than that actually. So we thought that, yeah, means let's try this. Of course, giving a fee of 10,000, 11,800 was a big thing back then. As in, means I at least have not taken any paid card till then. That was my first paid card, and that also went to, let's say, 10,000 rupees plus. So I took that, and of course, every one of us might have used that to the fullest, and we had fun. We had many great memories with the travels which we did via that. So it started from there, and then once you get the taste of the miles, once you get the taste of business class travel, once you get the taste of staying in ITC, it's very difficult to go back, right? When, and even at that this cost, right? In on the spends which you are anyways doing, you are earning these miles and points, and then you are staying for a luxury hotel, you are taking your family for stays, and then traveling to business class and stuff. So yeah, this is how this journey was. So right now have all kind of premium, mid tier to premium credit cards which are offered. So my passion is generally to collect all kind of credit cards, whatever we can, right? So currently have some around 30 if not more active credit cards, and from Infinia to Atlas is, means majorly Infinia, Biz Black and Atlas is what I use generally. Let's say 80% of spends go there, and then of course based on the offers and then other useful benefits, like from Times Black also we have this iShop benefit. So these are kind of cards we use, but yeah, 80% of spends go to your Biz Black, Infinia as well as Atlas, and then rest is divided between others.
So you have given up on Magnus already, or you still hold?
The earlier Magnus, yes, I have given up on, but I think so. I like to call it as a situationship. I'm again actually trying to get the Magnus Burgundy now. So for a millennial to understand situationship, basically 2022 to 23 we were in love with Magnus. Then in 24 we just gave away all our Magnus, and then again now once Burgundy is in, we are again going after Magnus.
Don't worry, millennials understand
Actually, it's not.
situationship.
Actually, the problem is not burgundy. It is with exes. It's love-hate
Yeah.
relationship. You either love them, or hate them, but you
That is
cannot
true.
ignore them.
Yeah, yeah.
True, true. That is true. If you are into Miles game, of course, we cannot ignore them.
So, can you maybe tell a bit about which currencies do you prefer? Whether you want to move points more towards, let's say, air miles or towards hotels or
Right.
cashback? Yeah, what is that strategy?
Yeah.
You
Generally, it depends on what are the next 6 months to 12 months travel plans generally. So let's say I have a plan to visit Goa in July, mid-July. So for that, we'll be staying in ITC Grand Goa, and then of course booking the flights via, let's say, Infinia points. So I tend to transfer the Atlas miles to ITC hotels where we can redeem it in Grand Goa. So this is kind of the strategy. And then let's say in 6 months after that, let's say I'll be visiting Finland, right? While coming back and while going, we have actually booked the mile, have the miles booking currently, and we transferred the point via Amex there. So it was to Qatar Airways as well as the Virgin Atlantic. So this is the kind of strategy basically. Mostly I don't do, let's say, preemptive kind of transfer. I generally prefer, if I have a plan, then only I transfer. Else generally I don't transfer points.
So basically, the way I understand, you plan a location.
Right.
This is the location you see that these are the mile requirements, and then you transfer your miles from your partner, whatever you have.
Perfect. Yes.
So Harshit, just going back to your Goa plan, you said you are planning to stay in ITC. Can you explain to all our viewers how did you plan your trip?
Definitely.
What kind of redemption you have looked at, and how did you manage everything?
Sure. Now, after getting into this points and miles game, generally every one of us and even I looked at, yeah, however we can bring the cost of the trip down, let's say, and pay minimum from our out of pocket spends. So we try to do that, right? So starting with the flights. Flights to Goa are quite cheap. Let's say 2,500 to 3,000 per person one way. and we are a family of two, means myself and wife. So we booked everything via Smart Buy. So Smart Buy is basically a portal which is ran by HDFC, where you can actually earn as well as burn your points, right? So you can actually search for flights, hotels, and then book your flights, hotels over there.
Yeah.
You after aggregating all the points, let's say we had two tickets around 12,000 return, right? So out of 12,000, you
Yeah.
can pay 70% from your point stack, right? And 30% goes from your out of pocket spends. So from these
Yeah.
12,000, around 7 is around 8,000, 9,000 are covered by points, and the rest 3,000 you have to pay by credit card, that is Infinia. Good thing is that these 3,000 will also earn you 16.5%
Yeah.
reward rate, right? So you
Yeah.
are earning there as well. Of course, not double counting rewards, like basically you are earning as well as burning. Just count it once. So if we'll count at the redemption stage, then yeah, 70% of your 12,000 is covered over there. Out of pocket
Yeah.
spends came out to around 3,000. Next, you think about which hotels you will be staying in, right? So
Yeah.
there for 4 nights, 2 nights we have booked for ITC Grand Goa, and 2 nights we have booked for Taj Exotica, both in
Yeah.
South Goa. So for the ITC, we have partners from HDFC at Axis, right? So the best partner being Axis, right? For me, it's Atlas.
Yeah.
So I transfer points from Atlas to ITC at a rate 1:2 ratio. I booked it for 2 nights for it. Actually, ITC Grand Goa has amazing rates during the monsoon. You can actually stay there for around 10,000 points a night. So I did that,
Oh.
10,000 ITC points a night. I did that. I booked for 2 nights, 20,000 points over there. And you have to pay the taxes from your own pocket. That is around 3,000 rupees in taxes, if not more, if I am not wrong. So this is what you get on
Yeah.
from Axis and ITC. So again, if you calculate 3,000 from the flights and 2,000 from the hotels, currently I am spending just
Oh, that,
5,000, and I'm staying in the one of the best
that's
hotels, if not
amazing.
the best in Goa, right? Now I then
Yeah.
move on the third day to Taj Exotica. Now Taj does not have a direct transfer partner, but you get vouchers via Amex, right? So we have two
Yeah.
Amex Platinum travels in our home, one for myself and one for my wife, right? So we
Yeah.
actually complete that 4 lakh milestone and get that 10,000 voucher, right? We go to Epicure website, we book standard rates, right? Because your Amex voucher are just redeemable for your standard rates. So 10,000 into 2, 20,000 voucher there, and we have 5,000 into 2 from BizBlack as well. So BizBlack has these milestone where on joining you get 5,000 by spending some 1.5 lakh, and then
Yeah.
every 5 lakh milestone you get some 5,000 more Taj voucher. So 10,000 was available over there. So my booking was around, for 2 nights it was 31,500 with taxes, if I'm not wrong. So 30,000 of course will be shaved off via that voucher. So if you are staying in a 4 night in a hotel, and you are paying, let's say, around 7,000, if I'm not wrong, 7 to 8,000 till now, and of course you will be spending on F&B, you will be spending on taxis in Goa, if not, if you will rent a car, whatever it is, still
Yeah.
80% of your spends are still shaved by these
Yeah.
points and miles. And these are kind of hotels which
Yeah.
generally, means at least myself, I wouldn't have stayed if not for points generally.
So thanks, Harshit, for sharing your redemption story. Guys, we have all the reviews of those cards, what Harshit has mentioned. We have BizBlack review, we have Access Atlas, we have Amex Platinum. So if you're interested to watch the review of these cards, I will put the link in the description. You can watch from there. Coming back to your Goa redemption, Harshit, just to tell you, I and Abhishek both have done Taj Exotica redemption. Our stories are different, which we will capture it separately, but we have used Taj extensively to redeem our vouchers, what we have earned in different way. And as exactly as you said, we have also used 80% points for miles and 20% cash output. So guys, we have also one video on our channel on Taj, how you can score a free night with Taj. I'll put the link in the description. You can watch that as well.
And you can also do that via a bank account, the HDFC
Yeah,
special accounts.
special platinum.
So Harshit, the next question we move to, you mentioned something about Finland. My question is more around about your future redemption.
Yeah.
As you mentioned, you plan certain things and Finland is something coming. What exactly you think when you collect all those reward points? How you want to plan the redemptions?
Simple terms means my for points for me are luxury enablers. So what do we mean by that? Some
Yeah,
things which you won't pay by your own pocket, but you want to experience stuff. For example, let
yeah,
it be Etihad business class or Singapore suites, right? Where actually it's a double bed and you actually get to stay there, and for a 6 hour flight. And let it be a Qatar Q suite as well, which is kind of a best business class, which is termed by Skytrax. These are kind of redemptions you want to do, and these are on the flights. And then of course there are hotels like the best hotels in India, that is ITC Grand Goa, ITC Grand Bharat, all those kind of stuff, right? Generally you won't pay, let's say, 25,000 out of your pocket for a one night stay, but on points it's still very becoming very accessible. It's points are enabling these things. So for my longer term or shorter term, wherever I plan, I generally look at the where I am planning to go and what are the best FFPs for there. So just for an example, I am planning for a Finland trip in November, right? I have made the to and fro bookings. Two was just
Yeah.
15,000 Virgin Atlantic points on KLM, right, to Helsinki, right, and around 9 to 10,000 rupees of taxes. So Virgin Atlantic is a 2:1 partner with Amex, right? So
Yeah.
just 30,000 MR points and you get a one-way ticket to Helsinki, which would have easily costed you 40 to 50,000 if not more in economy class, right?
Yeah. So guys, what Arshad is saying that with 30,000 point you can book one-way ticket, and with Amex Platinum Travel Card you can easily rack up 40,000 MR points only on spending 4 lakhs. So basically, if you plan it smartly between you and your spouse, Amex Platinum Travel Card, you can score 2 tickets to Helsinki in through Virgin Atlantic.
Correct. So that is there. And then, of course, while coming back, we have this Qatar Q suites planned, basically from Munich to Doha and Doha to Mumbai. So this is again business class redemption, which we are looking at.
Yeah.
And of course, Qatar is a transfer partner for HDFC, which you can get it at 1:1 via Finnair. And of course, there is this Amex 2:1 partner. So yeah, this is how we go about it.
So,
Yeah.
so Harshit just shared one hack, which is not known to many. You can transfer points to Qatar 1:1 from HDFC indirectly. So you have to transfer first to Finnair, and from Finnair you have to transfer to Qatar.
Correct.
If you try to transfer directly from HDFC to Qatar, the ratio is 1:2.
Correct. 2:1.
So this is a hack you can take from this episode, guys, if you're planning your redemption on Qatar or Avios, just to put into perspective. Thanks, Harshit, for sharing with our viewers. So Harshit has also touched upon one important thing in this entire episode, guys. Points are luxury enablers. So if you're someone who's thinking to use points in effective way, can do what Harshit has done, one way economy and another way business class, and plan smartly your trips, which helps us to enhance his experiences and travel seamlessly. So this is I will take from this episode from Harshit how you can plan effectively and luxuriously.
I think one more point here is important, Rushank, that you have to plan in advance.
Correct.
So you
Yeah.
cannot do a planning, impromptu planning, because you might or might not have availability of those tickets. So like Harshit said, folks, a lot of times we get queries that I want to travel next month or next to next month, and how can I do, let's say, a luxury booking or a travel booking via points. So normally when I also do, or when, let's say, Harshit has shared his example, you at least need to have 6 to 9 months window where you need to be also a bit flexible on the dates,
Correct.
because sometimes the dates that you really prefer might be peak season dates and you cannot get availability on those nights or those dates. So therefore you have to be a bit flexible when you are doing these reward bookings.
Even Abhishek had done the similar thing when he had planned his Iceland trip. He had done like 8 to 9 months in advance, and we will be doing entire episode on Iceland redemption separately. So do watch that as well, guys.
And I was in Helsinki too for 3 nights, so we'll cover that.
Nice.
So Harshit, we talked about your X profile. So just tell us the story behind your X profile and how did you start posting on X and became so popular?
So actually, I would think I was at the right place at the right time. So even you'll know that yeah, I have not been into the game since, let's say, last 10 years, 15 years. I have just been in 4 or 5 years tops, right? And in 1 or 2 year I was just learning stuff from all these kinds of handles, and actually wanted to start something of my own on my Twitter or Instagram or any kind of platform, right? Using the social media. So there were two thoughts. One was actually to post whatever I know, and basically which can help people learn about a few stuff which actually I just learned in last 2 years, right, of using these credit cards and debit cards. So I started with that thought. Also, the second thing was actually I wanted to learn design as well. So when I was creating these creatives for let's say credit cards, for example, I created this cashback thread, top 5 cashback credit cards. All the creatives I only created based on from Canva, right? So I wanted to learn Canva, and that was also a motivation behind this, so that let's say chalo we learn art as well and do some commerce as well if possible with referrals and stuff.
So guys, if you intend to apply the JCB card, what Harshit has mentioned, I have put the referral link. You can apply through our referral link and support the growth of our channel.
That was a really an interesting conversation, Harshit. I think we all learned a lot today because I think me and Rushang are not too much into debit cards, but yeah, still it was a great learning show. And I hope the audience has also learned. Folks, if you would want to learn more about RuPay debit card and the features and the benefits, Harshit is known as Card Wizard on x.com or Twitter, and you can follow him and you will find a post which talks about the RuPay debit cards. He has kindly agreed to pin it as well so that you can find it easily. And do follow us also as Raw and Real Finance on Twitter and Instagram, and we are also there on YouTube. You should subscribe to us because now we have already hit 4,000 subscribers and we are looking for your more love so that we can reach the 10,000 number for our South America trip. And I think this was a really educating session because a lot of times people do talk about credit card, but they also don't realize that the credit card is a different thing. But even having those debit cards from even the government side banks or the PSU banks, you can get a lot of benefits, and many people may not even redeem the benefits even while they have the card. So I think it is a very important thing, Harshit, that you are doing, educating people and bringing all this knowledge with such a wider audience. So really thank you for that. And folks, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to our channel and share this video with your friends and family so that they can also learn the power of debit cards. This is a change in our strategy this time. But yeah, looking forward to have more such sessions with Harshit and many others. And thank you very much, Harshit, for your time. And that's it, folks, from our side. Till then, next time, keep swiping, keep saving.